guys, it's your girl Pam. Oh, child, what's going on here? Anyway, I told y'all I was going to tell you some of the things that I've been doing to help reduce, and I honestly believe this. Now, I'm not going to say it's going to work for everybody. Once again, let me give my disclaimer. I am not in the medical field. I am only sharing my testimony, right? I am on Monjaro. I have been on Monjaro for 5 weeks. I just took my 5th injection this past Tuesday. The only reason I picked Tuesday is because that's what she ended up giving me. I went to the doctor on that day and she injected me on that day. She gave me a free sample, a 1-month supply of the 2.5, and then gave me a prescription for the 5. Now, I was a little concerned, and I will share this with you all. She had me to believe that I could get Monjaro for $25. That was not the case. That was not the case for me. I do have insurance. I've got Blue Cross and Blue Shield. But I have a high deductible. And so they paid $150 toward my portion that I have to pay. So it would have been like $216 was my portion, but they paid $150 and I had to pay $67.50. Now I don't know about y'all, but that was I wanted 25. I'm gonna just be honest. However, I'll take 67 versus the 216. So I just had to allot that in my budget because guess what? I'm worth it. I'm worth it. I have not always felt that way, and not because I didn't have self-esteem or self-confidence, because I was a mom and I was doing for everybody else, and I kind of put myself on the back burner. And let's face it, I was fighting the time of my life of having breast cancer, and so the sugar, as your grandmama used to say, the sugar got put on the back burner. My diabetes was not anywhere, and they kept saying that I was borderline, and that's exactly what I kept running with. I'm borderline. And then I was no longer borderline. So when type 2 came in, I was like, okay, thank God we're done with this whole cancer thing. There is no evidence of cancer anywhere, so thank you, God. But we've got to get a hold of this whole diabetes thing, right? So that was my main thing. Did I want the weight off? Absolutely. But when that lady started talking about dialysis, and I knew that the chemo had already compromised my liver and my kidneys, guess what? I don't need to help it out. So I was just like, okay, well, we got to do what we got to do. Now, did I want to do that needle? Absolutely. Did the needle hurt? Nope, it didn't. I'm just being honest. I have not done arms. I have not injected in my thighs. I have only injected in my stomach. Honestly, I've almost tried to figure out whether or not the injection went in. That when I say that, I mean that. I had to see the barrel that drops down that it's been injected, and make sure there was no residue on me, because did you really stick me? But I promise I did not feel anything. Now, it might be because I'm fluffy. Maybe it was just I don't know, but I ain't feel a thing. I'm just being honest. But one thing that we did, I think I told y'all March 10th, which today is April 10th, so it's 1 month, 1 full month. And I changed my life. I took the injection and the food noise went away immediately. Now, I got to do a whole another video on food noise, because food noise is it's a different beast. It's a different beast. I didn't know that it had a name, but I at times really, I asked God. I said, I don't know what to do. Now, when I asked him to help me, I didn't realize it was going to come in this particular form. I really thought, and I'll give you an example, and I please just stick with me. But I've heard people say that they've had other addictions, right? Drugs, alcohol, and they have prayed to God and they've asked God to take that taste, that urge, that from them, right? And that's, I thank God for them that they were able to do that. But alcohol, you have to go get. Drugs, you have to go get. Food, you have to have. Like, you can't live without food. Now, you could go longer without food than you can water, but you got to live, right? Off of food. So, for the most part, people would never believe me. My kids and I only eat ground turkey, some form of seafood, whether it's fish or shrimp or something of that nature, and we eat chicken. We rarely eat pork, every blue moon. Now, I'm not saying we don't have bacon, but like, I don't eat like pork chops all the time. But at that point, I was starting to eat pork chops all. So it just, what I'm saying is that I would say 80% of the time, my stuff, we don't deep fry. We don't do any of that stuff. We use the air fryer or the oven. So I couldn't figure out where this weight was coming from. But I looked at it. I think I had gained like 30 pounds when I came off of metformin. I was already a big girl. We don't need to gain, honey. We need to, we need to lose. So I was like, okay, what are we doing here? What's going on? So anyway, went to the doctor that morning. My daughter and I had asked her, we had tried walking, and she said, Mommy, I just don't like walking outside. And at my rec center, my county rec center, they offer seniors, I'm a lady of a certain age, they offer them like all of the centers within my county. I only have to pay $3 a year. Well, sign me up. She even switched her membership, her gym membership, because they got a gym there. The one closest to us has a gym, a walking track on top of the gym, and then a basketball, that type of gym, right? But the weights and stuff, they have that there. And then we can go to the other one if we wanted to do like water aerobics and stuff like that. And they also have classes at the one I'm at. So anyway, I was just like, okay, if you are willing, she said, Mommy, it's not that I don't like walking. I just don't like walking outside. And I was like, okay, she wanted to lose weight. I wanted to lose weight. But I honestly was more concerned about my A1C. Okay. So here we go. Came home. Well, got the injection, came home. I even changed. We were literally, I didn't eat that day because I thought they were going to do labs. And so I fasted. And I normally intermittent fast. I guess I need to tell y'all that. But I normally intermittent fast. So I don't eat till 12:30, 1 o'clock. But that particular day, my appointment was until like 2 something. And then by the time they saw me, and she didn't even do labs. So it's like 3 or 4 o'clock by the time we finished, right? And we had already planned we were going to American Deli. I was like, well, guess I ain't going to American Deli, because they told me very quickly that grease and all of that stuff, may not want to try that, right? So I said, okay, not a problem. So I went to this place. It's a seafood place, and I got, which is my normal thing for them. It was all broiled stuff. I got shrimp, I got scallops, and I got tilapia, right? And it comes with a salad. It did come with a baked potato, but it's enough for 2 portions. So I ate half of it one day, but this was my norm. I would get the portions. They would give you 2 pieces of tilapia. I would have 1 piece today, another piece tomorrow. If they had 6 shrimp, I had 3 today, 3 tomorrow. And the same thing with the scallops. They would usually do 3, between 4 and 6, and I would eat half of them, right? So that, and even the potato, I would bust the potato down the middle, and guess what? That's what I would eat. So that wasn't anything that was abnormal, but I did want that American Deli. But I was just like, look, if you're going to do it, we're going to do it. Guess what? Had no food noise at all. So I said, okay, not a problem. We're going to roll with these punches here. So I didn't know how much food noise affected my life. And like I said, we're going to do another video on that, because I promise you I could literally weep right now, because it was just one of those things that I just did not have a clue how much it affected me, right? So let me tell you some of the things that I feel that have helped me personally, and maybe hopefully help you. I could not walk a mile. About 2 years ago, I wasn't walking at all. I was walking with a rollator. So my balance is still off. So I've gone to PT and done, this was side effects of chemo, right? So I don't walk with anything now, thank God. But I was like, okay. And y'all, I'm not like religious, so y'all gonna hear me cuss. I'm sorry, but Lord knows I love God more than anything. So just know that. So anyway, I started with 3 laps. I was gonna start with 2. It was 10 laps to make a mile. I was gonna start with 2. And then the lady at the counter that was checking us or setting us up with our membership said, oh yeah, I started off with 3. Now that heifer was not getting ready to beat me. So I said, I'm going to do 3. That's how I started, like literally. So I started with 3. And then every Monday I was going to go up an additional lap. Well, we got to the 6th lap and somehow it got confused. Now I'm at a mile. So I just do a mile every day. I do my 10 laps and we keep it moving. Starting in May, I'm going to start adding strength training. But I have to wear a sleeve because I had 15 lymph nodes taken out when I had my double mastectomy. So I have to be very careful. She, my OT told me, look, do not overstrain that arm or you're going to blow up. So we're going to, and not in a good way. So we're going to, take our time with it. All right. So walking and staying active, whether it's three laps, which is what, 3/4 of a mile. I don't care. Well, 1/3 of a mile. I don't care. Move your body. And we do it Monday through Friday. As soon as I finish this video, guess where I'm going? Now, usually it's me and my daughter, but she works a double today. I could be like, oh, well, she's not here. No, I'm going, right? And do my 10 laps. I'm putting me some headphones on or some earbuds, and I'm going out there and do that laps. It is what it is. Now, I drive there every day, Monday through Friday, and it is what it is. I rest on Saturday and Sunday, and then we start back up on Monday. So, moving. That's number 1. Number 2, I would usually drink water, but guess what? This will also have you not wanting to drink water. Your food will be suppressed, but your fluids will be suppressed too. So you have to be intentional. Now I'm going to show y'all something. This is 40 ounces. And I drink, my goal is to drink 3 of those a day. And then this one I use for my electrolytes. I do 16 ounces for my electrolytes. And the day before, 2 days before, this last, because I went up to 5 milligrams this last Tuesday, I started doing 2 of these the 2 days before. So that Sunday and that Monday. And then on that Tuesday, when I inject, I do 2 of these, 2 different things of electrolytes at 16 ounces. And then I do, it will make you constipated. That is one of the things that I have had, but I wasn't able to identify that it was constipation because I'm not a regular person, right? I'm not regular in that way. So I have to also be intentional with that. So one of the things that I did was I drink 8 ounces of prune juice right when I break my fast. with my first meal, and usually that will keep me pretty regular. I still don't go every day, but it's not days. I knew it was a problem when it was days. So I had to be like, okay, we gotta, because I don't want to be in the emergency room all stopped up. So usually, if nothing else, is every other day, if not every day. Okay. I started tracking my poop. Call me crazy, but I needed to know, I needed to know. So I started tracking my poop. What else? So I use Ultima. And you can use whatever you see fit, but I don't like that salty taste as far as electrolytes, as like Gatorade and stuff like that. I don't like that salty taste, and it does not have a salty taste to it. I got the mocktails flavors, which is like some raspberry, a strawberry daiquiri. I think it's a pina colada one and a mango something or another, right? So those are the flavors that I got. I got them off Amazon. And then to also help with the fiber, I get Welly Belly. Belly Welly? Belly Welly. I saw it on TT, but I ended up getting it off Amazon. But it also has electrolytes and different things in there. Now, the other things that I decided to do, because I already wear my hair short. I don't need to be thin, and I've already gone bald before with chemo, so I don't need that. So I do a collagen, and I just happen to do Black Girl vitamins. So I do a multivitamin, one a day, and I do the collagen. I do a B12 and a B6. Now I do the B12 and the B6 because the energy, sometimes you can get fatigue, and I have tracked it well enough to know that my fatigue times is 2 days after I've taken my injection. Yesterday, I thought I was literally gonna die because them 10 laps felt like 72. The day before, I was, I guess, walking with bigger strides, and I didn't hit what they said that was a mile, and I walked an extra one so that I could get the mile in, and that was 11, and didn't feel a thing. So my trouble spot is with fatigue is about 2 days after my injection. So I'm trying to think, is there anything else? Honestly, y'all, I think that is my little concoction that I have tried to figure out what works best for me. Oh, and I do a D3 and a K2 combination. They've got a combination soft capsule. So I do that. And, it helps. I haven't, like I said, the only thing that I've had, I'll get indigestion. I haven't had anything like those burps they be talking about. I'll have indigestion, but I will take a couple of Tums, and I don't even take the real Tums, is whatever the store is. Take a couple of Tums, and then I'm fine. Like it's not even 2 minutes later, I'm fine. It's moved. The constipation, like I said, we remedied that with the prune juice, and I do the light prune. I track everything. I track mayonnaise. I track relish. I track lettuce, tomato, everything in my Fitness Pal. My my Samsung Health is linked to my Fitness Pal, so it will take my whatever I walked and put the calories in there. I try not to, I guess, give me a calorie credit or whatever. I try not to use those extra calories. I started going to a dietitian. My particular insurance, I saw these people online. I don't even know what they're called. It's on my phone. I'll link it below if I can remember, but it was free. I didn't have to pay anything. I think I get 4 visits. She was an absolute gem. And I loved her because she has dealt with weight loss. A lot of time these dietitians, and I didn't even know the difference between a dietitian and a nutritionist, but when I figured it out, I did. But a lot of times they're these little skinny mini people that have always been skinny mini trying to tell me how to eat. You do not know my struggle. I don't know what to tell you. You don't know my struggle. And so, but she knew my struggle. She knew my struggle. So, you know, she gave me different alternatives and stuff. And so, I didn't know that I like chickpeas. I love me some Rockin' Ranch chickpeas. I got the variety pack so I could figure out which one I like. And honey, those are my babies. She told us about the Built bars. Child, I couldn't eat it. Something about that texture, that marshmallow. It was not a Samoa, honey. So didn't do that one, but I did the pure protein bars. Love those. We get the salted caramel and the chocolate peanut butter. Now, let me tell y'all something about me. When I tell you I am a chocolate connoisseur. Like, when I mean that from my heart, like deep down in my chest. I have left my house in a snowstorm to get chocolate because the food noise, the chocolate noise, the you got to have it noise had invaded my body like none I have ever felt in my life. And I don't have that anymore. And I'm gonna be honest with you. My glucose numbers coming down. No more food noise. And the swelling in my feet no longer making them look like loaves of bread. The 10.9 pounds is just the icing on the top. But those things, that's the cake. No pun intended. I'm gonna be okay. So I've gone up to 5. I'll tell y'all about, we'll talk about that first month on 2.5 and what I've experienced, and then we'll talk about this 5, that's 5 milligram. And hopefully, like I said, my goal in sharing this is to document it for me, but also to share it to help somebody else. So, I'm gonna forget to do all of this, but if you, share, like, thumbs up, subscribe, just come on in and be a part of this community. Whatever you need to do with all of them buttons and stuff, please do it. And support the channel, because I want it to get out to more people, and that's the only way that it's going to get out to more people is if you guys like the content. So I hope you like it, and I am so glad you're here, and we'll talk to you later, butterflies. Love you. Bye.